before, so if Scott exhibits any soreness, then Kenny Cooper will have to go to McCutcheon. Now, Chris Sobieski is generally the starter every night in goal for Dallas. He's a veteran, 36 years old, and he's been one of the good ones in this league. The only question I would have is Sobieski has played the majority of games in goal for Dallas, and when you get to this point of the season, you just wonder how sharp a guy can continue to be. Last year, Sobieski looked like a tired goalkeeper to me late in the season, and of course, if Gordon Jago, the Dallas coach, feels that's the only thing he can go with, he's got to go with it. The Blast has the luxury of having two all-star goalies in Keith Van Aaron and Manning, and a very good backup in McCutcheon.
Of course, if McCutcheon gets a chance to get into this game, he would really love that. He's just itching to play. Would love to have started the game, but Manning has been playing so well lately. If there's any way at all Kenny Cooper can get him into the game, he's going to do it.
Yeah, I think he will. We may also look for Kenny Cooper in a slow-paced game tonight to go to a sixth-man attacker, even if the Blast happens to be in the lead or it's a tie game. He did it the other night in St. Louis with 4 minutes to go in the first half. He went to a 6-goal attacker with a score scoreless. So that's one of the things we might look for, and we're underway.
Right away, the ball brought back inside the Baltimore end, and Tattoo makes the play off the backboard, and it's loose in front of the net, but is finally kicked away. Tattoo, of course, a very dangerous player, and he only gets more dangerous to opposing teams as time goes on. 44 goals and 25 assists for 69 points already this season. And 3 goals and 2 assists. 5 points of those have come against the Blast this year. So Baltimore is certainly well aware of his capabilities.
Last time they played, Tattoo undressed Bruce Savage, arguably the best defender in the league, scored a goal off of Savage from a corner play. So Bruce has his work cut out for him tonight against really one of the exciting players in this sport.
Newcomer Willie Milano hammers it off the corner boards. He's just come on board from Los Angeles.
And he's been injured. He suffered a dislocated shoulder in December, so he hasn't played that much, but he's a proven goal scorer.
Holds many LA scoring records. High shot off the glass by Mike Stankovic. And Sobieski touches the ball for the first time and now slides it ahead for David Stride.
Almost broke the glass. Kaboom!
You know, that happened in St. Louis, and they had about a 9-minute delay.
That's right.
I did not think that a soccer ball would break the plexiglass. I've seen it happen with hockey pucks and players hitting it, but somebody had an awful hard shot. And the Blast were defeated by St. Louis at the St. Louis Arena on Tuesday in overtime.
Child just missed a nice centering pass from Furphy, and the shot by Child off the glass. Now he's dropped along the boards, and it'll be a foul against Dallas.
First call of the game. It's against Dallas for pushing.
Howard Gale gets the foul, and he just looked like he got under the feet there and dropped him.
Back to live action now. Here's Reynolds tossing it across the field, and it's picked up there by Billy Ronson.
Ronson was doubtful coming into the game, but he's taken a turn.
Back into the corner again for Reynolds, and he'll play it out. Ronson with a thigh muscle that had been strained, wearing number 7, and he moves ahead. Takes possession of the ball once again and delivers ahead on the right side for Michael Brady. Back into the corner, and a sliding tackle from Victor Moreland.
Good play.
Here's Whitman to start back. He's got a pretty bad case of the flu, feeling a little bit better today. Listed as either, here's another whistle, stopping play. Pushing call against Dallas. It's the second call against the Sidekicks here in this period.
Whitman's got to feel real badly to keep him out of the lineup. He's one of the great competitors in this league and a very strong kid. He's not very tall, but he's one of the stronger players in the league. Does a lot of weight work.
Savage with the steal, finds Drago, and the shot goes wide. Now Chapman out of the corner, brings it back to Stankovic, and Drago's shot was blocked. Moreland just got in the way of that.
Second good block already by Moreland.
Mike Powers into the corner for Dallas, wearing number 5, works it away from Chapman. Here's Mike Stankovic. Now out to Drago, and he sends this one up into the crowd out of play. Among the injured for Baltimore, of course, Keith Van Aaron with a back strain that we've already discussed. Dave McKenzie with an ankle injury. Whitman has the flu. Mirsad Karovich with a hip flexor injury. Billy Ronson with a thigh muscle. Scott Manning the strained knee. Richard Chinapoo. Little message being communicated there on the headband of Drago.
That's a great message, too. Say no to drugs.
Of course, Dave McWilliams, still recuperating from the knee surgery, is now practicing with the Blast, and it's unknown as to when he'll be actually back in action. But that time has to be getting closer and closer. Mike Stankovic with the steal. Fires a shot wide into the corner. Keith Furphy jams up there, and we've got another call against Dallas, their third. High shot by Chapman. He rockets that to the top corner, but it's deflected by Sobieski and up into the crowd out of play.
Nice job by Sobieski. Chapman got off a real quick trigger shot, and it was a little bit high, and of course that helped Sobieski. There's another shot at Drago over in the bench for the Blast. We call him here in Baltimore the no-wax linoleum man. And he's got that bright yellow headband on. Of course, after he scores a goal, he throws the headband into the crowd, and that's not dissimilar to what Tattoo does, except he takes off a little more clothing. He throws his shirt into the stands when he scores a goal.
And he's done it 44 times already this year. Savage back over to Furphy, and he launches it into the corner. All Child to play it, tied up by David Stride. Ronson gets it behind Sobieski. It bounces through the goal mouth. Now another chance, and Whitman is forced back to the corner. Willie Milano wearing number 21.
Great try by Whitman there. He tried to backheel the ball in and just missed. Not a high percentage shot, but when it works, it looks lovely.
Here's Moreland in his second year as captain of the Sidekicks. Back into the corner, and Whitman takes over now for Baltimore.
I'd like to develop a storyline with Drago versus Tattoo a little bit later, Mike, and the way fans around the league respond to each of those players.
Savage back to Ronson. No score. 10 minutes and 5 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Michael Brady along the boards. Brings it back to Ronson. Taken away by Wes McLeod and cleared all the way back downfield. Manning coming into this contest at 8-4 on the season in 12 appearances. Has given up 43 goals in 705 minutes. Chapman from a bad angle has it taken away. Brady pops it up, and it's grabbed by Sobieski.
Hottest goaltender in the league. He had won 6 in a row before the St. Louis game the other night. And to show you how hot he is, even when he lost, he gave up only 2 scores.
That goals against average dropping down now to 3.65. Here's Sobieski, who comes into tonight's game at 3.35 with a one-loss mark of 18-11 in 29 games. He's given up 94 goals. High shot by Gale up into the crowd on the deflection. It'll be a corner kick for Dallas. The Sidekicks have taken 3 fouls already here in the first period. The Blast with no whistles against them. There's no score in the game.
The people who sit right behind the goal on the south side here of the arena have to pay attention.
Off the glass and headed back in front. And now Chapman starts upfield. Twisted around on the play by Mike Powers. Sidekicks still control it.
I don't think the fans here like that.
Gale back into the corner. Tries to get past Furphy. Slides it into the corner, and Reynolds pries it free. Brings it back out now to Mike Stankovic.
3-on-2 if they hurry.
Stankovic fires a shot and a goal! Mike Stankovic picks the top corner, and the Blast go in front 1-0.
Well, this is what speed will do for you, whether it's in soccer or in any sport. Stankovic simply, once he got the ball from Michael Reynolds, look at him, he's all the way deep into his own end, but he just bursts up the middle of the floor to create a 3-on-2 opportunity. Sobieski's got to be aware of the guys on either side of him, and in the meantime, Stankovic in full stride just hit a rocket, a laser beam right past Sobieski for the goal. But again, it's that great speed, that burst of speed out of his own end, which set it up, because instead of it being a 3-on-3 opportunity, Stankovic gave the Blast the advantage in a 3-2 breakaway. Now a steal by Child.
Child trying to break free as Sobieski was caught out of the net. And the Blast have the Sidekicks running here early. Brunson tries to work it free, but Milano fires wide. Along the sideboards, Willie Milano, the newest member of the Dallas Sidekicks, gives it up to Ronson. Ronson starts back downfield, shoots to the corner, but that one just missed the mark. And Sobieski quickly scoops it up.
6 inches the other way, it's in the corner, in the net.
Time of the goal, 6:17. Reynolds has the assist on Stankovic's 23rd of the season. Mike Stankovic with the only goal of the game for the Blast against St. Louis just the other night.
He's having his finest season ever, in my opinion, Mike. He's really done a great job and cut down his penalty minutes severely this year. Mike used to pick up a lot of unnecessary fouls. This year, he's only received 2 minutes in penalties.
Quick shot, and Manning slides to his left to make the save. Savage is there to move it back out.
Little Gimpy getting back up, too, for Manning. He's obviously favoring that left knee, and I just wonder if he can go all the way tonight.
Milano goes to the corner, has Chapman there to nudge him aside. Now it's headed up into the crowd by McLeod.
Officials timeout.
Officials timeout called right now. With 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the first period. Wes McLeod and David Stride heading back over to their bench for a brief pause as the Blast players gather around Kenny Cooper.
To redeem your $25 gift certificate, please report immediately.
One more look at the score, and again, Michael Reynolds just getting the ball on the foot of Stankovic, and then he just burst up the field straight on Sobieski. And I think sometimes that may be the hardest shot to stop, simply because you've got the greatest amount of velocity on it. It's coming right at you, and your reaction simply can't catch up to the speed of the ball. Mike, as you know, in hockey sometimes you can have an angle on a shooter, but that puck is moving infinitely faster than a human's reflexes can catch up to it. So I think that's what happened there.
Gordon Jago, the MISL Coach of the Year last year, 54 years old, making a point to several of his players there as he's got a little bit of a pause here to try and get his team regrouped. And I think they could probably use the officials' timeout more than anybody right now, because the Blast had the Sidekicks running around in their own end, and they had absolutely nothing going in the other end when they were trying to pressure the Blast. And Jago wants to stop that and get that trend reversed.
And speaking of pressure, I think there's a little bit of it showing on Gordon Jago. He was a little uptight before the ball game tonight, and I think that's a matter of his lifetime 2-11 record against this club, and the fact that he's lost 3 times this season to Baltimore, and 2 heartbreakers in overtime. So this is a game he really wants.
Here's a steal, and a high shot goes up into the crowd. Good scoring chance there for Howard Gale, but he had some pressure and chipped it upstairs.
Gale wanted a penalty called. It was in the box, and he felt that he should be getting a penalty shot because of interference, but he got none, so the Blast will kick it in from there. Own end of the field with Manning setting it in play. Sidekicks, who have drawn 2 great crowds their last 2 home games, will be back home again Tuesday night against Wichita, and they're expecting another big crowd at the Reunion Arena. So attendance and interest has really picked up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for this Dallas Sidekicks club.
McLeod has Drago right on him. He and Powers collide, and now it goes back to the corner. At the side of the net, looped right in front, and back to the other corner. Here's Knight. Up to Gale. Reynolds is right on him. Out again for McLeod, and he settles things down. Back to Powers, to McLeod in front of the Blast bench. Sobieski pokes it back into the corner, and Powers to make the play. 6 minutes to go, first period.
I think Baltimore is just beating Dallas to a lot of balls right now. They have been for the last 5 minutes, and that's why Dallas has been bottled up.
Rainey deflects one off Hayden Knight. Here's an easy score, and McLeod is going to get credit for it. That ball left right in front. Manning was over to his right to make a play, and a ball boarded off the backboard next to the net. Left right in front and directed home by Wes McLeod for his 10th goal of the season. This game is tied.
Well, this all happened because Brady could not clear the ball out of the blast zone. And then, of course, the centering pass right in front. And Wes McLeod with an easy score as Manning couldn't get back to the far post. But again, you'll see that Brady just fails to clear the ball out. Then the ball's centered and the easy shot for McLeod. That's not a goal against the goalkeeper. That's a goal against the defense because the Blast did a poor job of trying to clear the zone.
1-1 score. Earlier, the Blast had been heard from on Mike Stankovic's 23rd of the season. And now it'll be a kick in for Dallas. Foul situation is still 3 for the Sidekicks, none for the Blast.
And a happy Wes McLeod, as he should be, over on Gordon Jago's bench. And I had just gotten done saying that the Blast had done a very good job of applying the pressure and bottling the Sidekicks up in their zone. And suddenly Baltimore makes a mistake and it results in a score.
Whitman with a strong header back up the middle. Now Child to Ronson. Right in front, and it went behind Whitman. Back to the corner again. The ball cleared all the way out to midfield, and Tattoo is there to take it. Savage staying right with him. Savage will be watching Tattoo every move he makes tonight. Had some real success against Tattoo earlier in the season. Back on November the 30th, held him pointless.
Well, he's done that to most of the great goal scorers in this league. He is, without question, in my mind at least, the finest defender in the MISL.
As we mentioned, though, Tattoo has had his share of successes against not only the Blast, but the other teams. 5 points already this year against Baltimore. Tattoo knocks it down, has it played all the way back out for Doc Lawson. Tripping is the call against the Blast, and there are 2 fouls now against Baltimore.
Well, for a moment I thought they were going to call a handball on Lawson, but as you can see, he kind of straddles the ball, and meanwhile is tripped from behind, and it's a good call.
Manning makes the save and hurls it upfield for Furphy. Up to Ronson on the right wing. He takes it into the corner, has Lawson riding him there. The whistle stops play. This call goes against Baltimore. It's pushing against the Blast. They now have 3 fouls, and Dallas awarded a free kick.
3 quick fouls against Baltimore to even things up at 3-3. Really not a factor yet, especially with only 4:15 to go in the period.
Tattoo and Savage. Drago tripped up on the play, and here's Milano dropping it back. Victor Moreland goes to the corner, now looks for the return play. And Moreland sets up the attack. He goes to Milano in the corner. And Chapman boots it all the way downfield for a 3-line violation.
3-line violation.
We want to say hello to the folks watching tonight at the Sidekicks training facility, the Inwood Sports Center. Hope they're enjoying the game on Home Sports Entertainment.
Quick shot booted upstairs into the seats, and it'll be another kick in for Dallas.
Good try by Milano. It was one of those back footer jobs. You know, the goalie's looking out beyond the guy with the ball, figuring him to turn or pass, and instead Milano just tried to backheel it past him, and it was blocked by the defense. Cooper chewing that gum kind of hard. That's a good sign that he's not too happy at the moment. It's when he gives you that kind of relaxed chew that you know things are okay on the Baltimore side of the field.
A play off the backboard, return to the corner, and Savage will take it out. Loops it up the boards and finds Thompson along the sideboard. Now it's taken back by Moreland.
Freddie Thompson, one of the many young players on this Baltimore Blast team. Thompson, Skinner, Brady, Reynolds.
Savage still watching Tattoo. Powers sends it in, and Stankovic lets it roll on where Manning picks it up. Mike Stankovic starts the attack. Works on McLeod back in his own end. Stankovic taking his time and now gives it off to Manning. The quick throw upfield. This one goes to Savage. Savage Savage trying to set up in front, and Thompson took the pass, but his shot is deflected into the seats out of play.
I'm sorry, Mike. Bruce was just a step too slow there trying to center the ball to Chapman, who was standing at the top of the box and screaming for the ball, because Chapman had basically a one-on-one opportunity, but Savage couldn't get him the ball. And there's Sobieski taking a breath of air. You don't get to relax very much in this game. Nobody does, including the goalies, because things happen so quickly.
Well, Chris, you can bet that we're going to be seeing some Dallas players who normally don't see as much game time simply because of the injury situation for Gordon Jago's club. We mentioned Perry Vanderbeck with that broken foot. Billy Phillips and Pedro De Brito both out with knee surgery, and Mike Yurimovich with a concussion and a severe head laceration that has kept him home. He's not even on the trip.
Well, he had a terrible head-to-head collision, I think, on the 27th of February with Schiraldi of Kansas City, and he's going to have a headache for a while, but that's a key guy. So is De Brito. De Brito scored a lot of goals for this team, and when you lose your big goal scorers, of course, it puts even more pressure on the big guy, or the little guy in this case, Tattoo.
The little guy who is a big guy. That's right. Pretty big statistics. Mike Stankovic back into his own end to start out. 4 fouls against Dallas, 3 against the Blast, with 2:20 to play here in this 1-1 game in the first period. Off the corner, Manning makes the grab and fires it ahead to Stankovic.
The finest accordion player in the MISL. You didn't know that, did you? Who is that? Stankovic.
Mike Stankovic.
That's right. He was an amateur musician and plays the accordion very well. In fact, when the team goes to Chicago, where there's a very large Yugoslavian population, there's a favorite bar of Mike's there, and he goes in and entertains when the team is on the road. He's very good.
Stankovic with the ball now and fires a bouncer toward the net. Still being headed around. Finally over to the sideboards, and tumbling into the boards goes Hayden Knight. Dangerous play is the ruling against the Blast. 4th foul against Baltimore.
Well, it's just aggressive play by Michael, but he also wound up cutting the man under, and they both crashed into the board. So, yeah, it was a dangerous play, and 4-4 now. Still not a factor.
Here comes Smith cutting down the middle, drops it off. A shot. Manning makes the save. Holding on to that drive from Howard Gale.
Nice play. I wonder if Stankovic does any Billy Joel tunes. I'd like to hear that. I'd like to hear Piano Man on the accordion.
He's always in demand, I'm sure, whenever the instruments come out.
1 minute to go in the first quarter.
We're into the final minute of play here in the first quarter.
Look out.
Here's Gale charging in, and Manning gets in front of that.
Great play by Manning. Very aggressive goaltending. You realize that the break was coming, and he got out of the box and went out to meet the ball.
Murphy back into the corner to Child, and now we get a whistle. Elbowing or pushing is the call against the Blast. It's their 5th foul, and now a dangerous situation for Baltimore, where they could find themselves in a penalty situation with very little time remaining in the period, and Dallas would end up with a power play.
Well, that's one guy you probably don't want to try and roughhouse with, Paul Child. Among his idols in life are probably guys like Bone Crusher Smith, guys whose names begin are like Bone Crusher. He's one of the most physical players in the league. Tough guy.
Manning slides it over to Savage with 20 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 1-1 score. Tattoos tries to make his move and has Savage riding right with him. Savage with a key block there with very little time left as Savage cut to the middle. Along the sideboard. Child lets it go, and this call goes against Dallas for dangerous play. That's their 5th foul. Only 4 seconds to go, and Manning will scoop it up and throw it downfield as time runs out here in the first quarter. So the scoring during the first quarter of play, 1 for each side. Mike Stankovic with his 23rd of the season. Wes McLeod his 10th. And we're all locked up at 1-1 after the first period. Much more soccer coming after these messages on Home Team Sports and Home Sports Entertainment.
Fresh Bay Oysters, Little League Club.
With every Budweiser enjoyed, the promise endures. The promise of genuine quality. Without compromise, without fail. Beechwood aged Budweiser and Bud Light. Genuine proof that somebody still and always will care about quality. And that is a promise.
A message from the Black Eyed Pea. Why home may not be the best place for home cooking tonight. The Black Eyed Pea, on the other hand, is always the best place for home cooking. We cook your favorites from family recipes with the finest ingredients, served in generous portions with lots of loving care. So come on over to our kitchen, the Black Eyed Pea. Home cooking worth going out for.
In pure wool have never been in better shape. The fit for the fit. Gallery by Hager.
Thirsty is just part of my job, but I have my own ideas about thirst quenchers. USA Wet tastes good, and it doesn't have that aftertaste. When you work up a thirst, USA Wet has what your body needs and tastes better.
USA Wet. Finally, a sports drink that tastes good. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
Wet. Never tasted so good.
It's a 1-1 score here at the Baltimore Arena tonight on Home Team Sports and Home Sports Entertainment. There is a very good replica of a tattoo shirt, and it looks like the Baltimore fans are trying to stamp out Tattoo, trying to outlaw against him. I don't know how effective they're going to be, but Bruce Savage is doing a pretty good job so far.
Well, he normally does. I understand that of the jerseys Tattoo has given away so far this season, the bill runs to about $1,753 worth of free jerseys he's tossed into the seats. I'm sure that the Sidekicks management doesn't mind paying that kind of price for the kind of publicity they get, though, with a tattoo. There's Mike Stankovic, who, as I said before, is just having a tremendous season. 23 goals, 19 assists. He's one of the most explosive players in the league. He handles the ball very well with either foot. He's equally dangerous with either foot, and he's giving Kenny Cooper what I think late in his career is the best season of his career. 1-1 at the end of a period, and again, Wichita's Wings will be in the Reunion Arena Tuesday night at 7:05. The first 5,000 fans will get a free autographed Tattoo Baskin-Robbins poster. And of course, the Wings are led by former Sidekicks assistant coach Charlie Cook. So that's Tuesday night in the Reunion Arena, Dallas and Wichita.
How about those shots on goal during the first period? Dallas with 12 and the Blast with 5. I thought the pressure seemed to be the other way.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that number. Dallas came out and had a couple of quick shots to Tattoo, but I thought through the middle part of the period, Baltimore really kind of dominated the goal.
Here's Powers starting out. 1-1 the score. We're just underway with the second period. McLeod with the Dallas goal. Mike Stankovic has scored for Baltimore. Be a kick in for Dallas. Of course, the penalty slate is wiped clean now, and each club has nothing up on the scoreboard, penalty-wise or foul-wise. A long boot by Brady, and this one hits the scoreboard.
Boink. Well, that shot we saw a moment ago of Savage just about right in Tattoo's shirt, and that's where he's going to be most of the night.
Mike Stankovic to Brady. Back again to the Blast goal scorer, and here's Drago now to hustle back to midfield to pick it up. Starts in for Andy Chapman. Moreland recovers and gives it off to Sobieski. Sidekicks coming off a 3-2 victory last Saturday at home over Minnesota. Tonight, the first game of a 2-game road trip.
Nice kick saved by Mann.
They'll be playing at Chicago on Sunday afternoon. Here's Drago back to the corner again for Chapman. Chapman Chapman fires from a close angle. Has it blocked by David Stride. Drago starts out now. Back to Mike Stankovic. Over to Savage, and now Chapman. Twisted around and tripped up on the play, but the play keeps going.
2 good plays by Stride. He did his job. Blocked the ball twice.
Smith out to Mike Stankovic. Last starting back. Hard shot by Stankovic. He got a little bit too much under it. Sends it up into the crowd.
Well, that's like hitting the high C on the accordion when you want the middle C, and it wound up in row C behind the glass. What a terrific performer Sobieski has been over the years. He's a little long in the tooth for goalies. This is not a kind game to people on the dark side of 30, but he's still one of the finer goalkeepers in the major indoor soccer league. But as I said at the top of the show, you just have to wonder how long Gordon Jago can continue to use almost exclusively Sobieski in goal and still have a fresh and alert goalkeeper when you get to crunch time later this month and then on into the playoffs.
Doc Lawson back in the corner now, trying to chase the ball down. As Runson tying him up. Takes it all the way back to midfield for Victor Moreland. Here's McLeod bouncing it right in front of Scott Manning to the corner. Reynolds back to Manning. He'll bring it out on his own. Slides it over to Tim Whitman. Whitman charging downfield, a burst of speed to the corner. Chasing that ball with Ronson there to help him out. Plays it right in front of the net, and it's blocked and cleared by Powers. Now back to Ronson. He had Sobieski way out to challenge him that time and couldn't get the ball by him. Reynolds puts it toward the front of the net, and Manning is there to send it back out to Reynolds. Ronson at midfield. Manning hooks it over off the sideboards, and Gale picks it up.
The Dallas defense has done an excellent job the last few moments of clearing the ball in front of their keeper, Chris Sobieski, and you've got to get that.
Right in front, here's Milano, sending it wide.
Great
Good
opportunity.
scoring chance for him, too.
He just missed hit the ball. It was like shanking a 9-iron.
You'd know something about that, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. I have a great deal of experience.
Tattoo back to the corner. He puts it in front, and Milano can't make much of a play. Lofts it over where it's sent all the way back out to midfield. Now Smith right in front, sent just wide of the net. Milano coming in, can't get possession. Whitman plays it away. Lawson ties up along the sideboard with Ronson. We have a whistle. Tripping against the blast. First foul call of the second quarter.
Oh, Lawson and Murphy were going at it like cats and dogs right there along the board, and they finally called the foul on Baltimore, and the quick restart almost got him something.
Here's David Stride. Loops it downfield, and Tattoo in the corner pushes it past Whitman. Quickly, Manning is there to make the stop. Out to Chapman. Andy Chapman has his pocket picked by Gale, racing downfield. Howard Gale slows it down as the sidekicks are in the midst of a line change. Moreland is out there now, gives it off to Smith. Back to Milano. Stolen by Drago. Drago starts upfield. He's got Michael Brady with him. Fires into the corner. Back out to Chapman. To Brady. He fires. That's blocked. Rebound back to the corner for Brady. Taken out of the play by McLeod, and Milano starts out. 10 minutes to go. Second quarter. 1-1 score.
I think Gale and McLeod have played very, very well so far here tonight for Dallas. They're doing an exceptional job in their end of the field.
Hayden Knight directing traffic to the corner and now sends it across field to Moreland. Looking for McLeod along the sideboards, finds him and gets the ball back. Stankovic comes out now to pressure with Drago. Hayden Knight back to Moreland. This time they go all the way back to Sobieski. Moreland starts back. Drago's right there to intercept, and it gets away off the glass and goes into the seats.
Well, there's Drago. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Drago, when he was with Chicago last year, came to the Reunion Arena, and he suffers from alopecia, which is an anxiety disorder, I suppose, which causes your hair to fall out. And he suffered an awful lot of abuse from just a very few fans at the Reunion Arena, and was so upset about it, he literally broke into tears. So his first trip back into the Reunion Arena was a few weeks ago with Baltimore, and Kenny Cooper talked to a few of those fans before the game and said, "Give the guy a break, please." And the fans were much, much better. And that's good, because he is a delightful person, Mike. He really is. And he's an attraction and a star in this league, just as much as Tattoo is. I'm not saying he's as good a player, but just as much as an attraction. And I think fans have to appreciate players like that rather than look for something negative, especially something so personal from a man who's suffering literally from a skin disease. So they're both terrific players. Tattoo for the Dallas Sidekicks and Drago for Baltimore. The league needs players like that.
It'll be a kick in now for the Blast. 8:30 to go here in the second quarter. 1-1 score. One foul on the board for the Blast. None for Dallas. Whitman brings it back to Manning. Scott hurls it downfield, and racing to the corner is Savage. Plays it in front, and Child went diving in trying to get a piece of the ball, but couldn't make the connection. Now here's Smith starting back. Here's Perfect. Perfect cutting into the corner. Got it away from Stride, and now Tattoo comes up with the ball. Tattoo trying to sidestep Bruce Savage and can't do it. Ronson takes over.
Well, that missed opportunity by Child really was the result of a great outlet pass by Manning, who is the best distributor of the ball in the MISL. He studies quarterbacks and how they release, and he realizes that he's the trigger man in a fast break, and there's nobody who throws the ball better in the MISL, and they almost got a goal out of that.
Chapman sends it over now to Reynolds. Back to Whitman in the corner. Drago jockeys with Smith, and now Chapman brings it out. Drago's shot hit the glass. Michael Brady back out to Reynolds. Chapman in the corner. Back to Mike Stankovic. Smith is right on him. Smith really marking Stankovic closely. And the call is holding.
I'm surprised Maxwell waited so long to make the call the way they were going at it.
First foul called against Dallas here in the second quarter. Each team has one. One foul, and each team has one goal. Drago and Stankovic trade passes, and now Mike Stankovic to Chapman, and up into the seats it goes.
Chapman has really come on in the last couple of weeks for Baltimore. Kenny Cooper really had his doubts about Andy about a month ago. He just wasn't producing. He had a talk with Chapman. He benched him for a game, and Andy has been a much more effective player in the last couple of weeks. In fact, he's been one of the leading point scorers for Baltimore in the last 2 weeks. So he's doing the job that Cooper hoped he would do when he came over here before the season began. Cooper, of course, who just passed the 200 mark in career victories earlier this season, one of the real fine coaches in the Major Indoor Soccer League. He was weaned on outdoor soccer, as so many of the coaches in this league have been, such as Gordon Jago for Dallas, Cooper, Ron Newman for San Diego, Peter Wall, people like that, mostly with an outdoor background in soccer, but they've embraced the indoor concept of this game, realizing that the future of soccer, at least in the United States, rests with this hybrid form of soccer, the indoor game. All right, let's take a look again, and I'll show you what I mean about Manning. See how quickly, as soon as he got the ball, he looked up and saw Savage breaking down the left board. Savage hits it, and then you've got Child crossing through the crease of the penalty box, but the ball is just wide of his right foot. But that play doesn't happen with 90% of the rest of the goalies in the league because they'd have never come up firing as Manning did. He's got a very reliable arm, and he gets it out there in a hurry. And if you've got players around you who are quick and can, you know, run the fast break, because that's all we're talking about. It's soccer's version of basketball's fast break. You're going to score a lot of goals, and it places great pressure on the other team's defense because they always know that a goal is 5 seconds away off the arm of Scott Manning.
We're underway once again. Moreland goes to the corner and taps it right back to goalkeeper Chris Sobieski. 1-1 score, 6:35 to play here in the second quarter. Here's Powers flipping it back to the corner for Tattoo. He scores from a bad angle. Off comes the shirt, and Dallas takes a lead of 2-1 in this game.
Well, the last time Tattoo scored a goal here, a fan threw the shirt back at him. This must be a true fan. Either that or somebody who's in need of a shirt because she kept it.
Wasn't the most difficult goal he's ever had to score.
No, well, Manning came out there to come after the ball, and Scotty just couldn't clear it, and Tattoo persisted, and he got it around. That play really began when the two Blast defenders collided. You can see him right there to the left side of your picture. So Scotty, knowing he has no help in front's got to come out and play the ball, and Tattoo just did an exceptional job to wheel the ball around Scotty and put it into the net. So that's a real classy goal by Tattoo. But again, that's the second goal for Dallas, and the second one which was a result of a defensive breakdown.
Tattoo's 45th of the season. Time of the goal, 8:34. Right across the goal mouth, and Doc Lawson back to pick it up for the Sidekicks. Here's Drago to Furphy. Back again to Drago. His shot hooks wide of the net.
What a knuckleball that was.
Had a lot of movement on it. Back again to the corner, and Howard Gale.
Paul had more English than when they signed the Magna Carta. Hello. Good one. Sometimes I think Baltimore plays better when it's behind, Mike. It's that kind of team. We'll see now if they can pick up the pressure.
Kenny Cooper almost feeling that way about the standings as a whole.
Yeah.
He likes to be the leader, but at the same time likes to have somebody to catch. Feels his team performs much better when they've got an objective. Likes being the underdog. Tattoo keeping the pressure on in the corner, and Reynolds tries to make a play up the boards. Goes to Drago. He sends it out across field now for Whitman. Whitman's got McLeod riding right with him. Back out to Brady. Michael Brady.
Look at this.
Has pressure from Milano, and Milano breaks it free and centers it. Tattoo a shot. That's blocked by Reynolds. Now a rebound. McLeod got the drive underway. Milano back over to McLeod.
I think that
Suddenly the Sidekicks with lots of pressure. Milano sends it wide, and it's cleared back to the corner, but McLeod takes it over. Sidekick still with the ball, and Moreland starts it out from midfield.
I think Tattoo was dragged down in the box by Reynolds. I'm surprised there wasn't a whistle. I think Reynolds clutched some jersey and took him down.
Tattoo's got Reynolds riding right with him. Now here's Lawson. Sliding tackle by Michael Brady. Brings it out to Drago. Brady backs it up for Whitman.
Until the tackle by Brady there, though, I think Dallas has been winning most of the free balls here in the last 5 or 6 minutes. And Kenny Cooper, realizing that, has called a timeout.
Chris, that last exchange was probably the only time the Tattoo's been on the field so far in this game when Savage wasn't out there. And Savage just now coming on. Any possible reasoning as to why the shift changed? Savage needing a breather, or did Jago slip Tattoo out there when Savage had just come off?
I think that's what happened. In soccer, they don't match up lines as much as they do in ice hockey, Mike, as you know. And I think sometimes you can get caught in a switch like that, and that's exactly what happened. And then Whitman and someone else wound up colliding in the box, and Tattoo is free. Now, here's the pressure. Again, look at, there's the a man wide open in the box, and the shot is just wide of the post, but that's a great opportunity for Dallas. The Sidekicks have really taken over control of this game. Now, Kenny doesn't mind losing if the other team's just better, but there have been a number of mental mistakes, and mental mistakes will drive him crazy. So, interesting game, I think, so far, and Dallas looks like a team committed certainly to winning. They're a well-rested team. They haven't played since last Saturday, as you said, so they've got the upper hand. Now they want to find out if they can win, because they've been in this position before against Baltimore and not been able to put it away.
Underway once again, 3:50 to go here in the second period. Dallas has the lead 2-1 over the Blast. Watching the action tonight live and exclusively here on Home Team Sports and Home Sports Entertainment. Knight moves it up the boards. Furphy finally breaks it free, but it comes right back out to Gale. To Smith for the Sidekicks.
Forgot to wear my sombrero tonight. You know, I've got a beautifully sequined sombrero I picked up in Mexico a couple of years ago when I was in Texas for the Sun Bowl in El Paso, and I thought the folks back in Texas watching tonight would like to see that magnificent lid, but I forgot it.
I don't think they cared. I think they'd rather see a nice 10-gallon hat.
Well, I don't have one of those, but I figured a sombrero was the next best thing.
You'll be going to Dallas with me in April, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll pick you up one down there.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to have one of those 10-gallon hats, but I've only got about an 8-gallon head.
Here's Knight to chase Ronson upfield, and Knight comes up with the ball and fires a shot off the backboard, but Mike Stankovic is there. Ronson starts back now for Baltimore. Good play by Mike Powers, clearing it back out to midfield.
Consistently so far tonight, Dallas has done a marvelous job clearing the ball in front of Sobieski. The Dallas defense is a storyline so far, because they're making Sobieski's job much more easy.
Here's Child, back to Furphy, and Furphy tripped up by Gale, and the whistle blows, stopping play. Second foul against the Sidekicks, and it'll be a kick in for the Blast. 2:16 to go.
Boy, look at how fast those guys were running there. They just got an energy boost right late in the period. That's incredible. They were zipping around there like the Indy 500.
Not much time left, and very little chance of the fouls being of any consequence this late here in the second quarter.
Relatively clean game, I think. It's been a fairly physical game, but I don't think I've seen any cheap shots by players on either squad so far. Sobieski getting great help, as I said, from his defense. They have thwarted Baltimore time and again with blocking shots in that penalty box. And that's the job they're entrusted to do.
Here we go, Doc Lawson. Waits and slides it back to Sobieski. A long baseball pass downfield. Brady intercepts and brings it back on the left wing side, and Karavich has it stolen by Lawson. Into the corner for Tattoo. This time Savage is right out there with him. Scott Manning. Back to Tim Whitman. Over to Brady. Brady studies the defense and drops it back now for Savage. 1:35 to go, first half. In front, Chapman bounces it looking for Whitman, but Ed Radwanski was there, and he gives it off to Sobieski.
I think the first time we've seen Radwanski tonight.
I think it's his first shift out there.
Same for Mirsad Karavich for Baltimore, who wasn't expected to play much tonight. So two new faces out there.
Nearing the 1 minute mark remaining in the half. 2-1 score. Dallas has the lead. McLeod to Moreland, boots it back into the corner. Tattoo waiting for it on the bounce off the boards. And cuts to the middle. Look out. Tries the shot. Savage again there with the block. Good job. There was such a difference when Savage was not out there, that particular shift, leaving Tattoo in the be guarded by the rest of the Blast. Savage makes a real difference, or has so far in this first half.
And I think I've pointed out before, Mike, he does it so quietly. He's a great defender because he never loses his balance and he is always in position. So he's making difficult defensive plays and making them look easy. But believe me, it's just a matter of anticipation as Whitman goes. He's zipping into the boards, courtesy of Lawson. Now we've got somebody else down in the box. It's Savage. And that's the one guy that Cooper doesn't want to see on his hands and knees, because he's done a great job so far tonight, as he does most nights. I didn't see what happened to him. Well, there he is, right there in the box, and he went for the shot, and I think he just collided there and hit the floor.
Looked like he got kicked.
Yeah, it could be. I'm going to be talking to Tattoo, the Mercurial one from Brazil and Dallas, who has already scored a goal here tonight. And we'll have an interesting, we hope, discussion with Tattoo at halftime here on Home Team Sports and Home Sports Center.
We'll also be hearing from the Blast's Andy Chapman. Tattoo with his 45th already tonight, and it has been the difference in this game, as Dallas owns a 2-1 lead with only 34 seconds to play in the first half. Another good crowd on hand tonight here at the Baltimore Arena.
Great Americans. They've got their 24-ounce cups of beer, little popcorn, little timeout sign. Looks like the girl on the left just recently gotten a nice haircut. Yes, a haircut. It looks lovely. 2-1. Been a tough game. Of the 3 games played already this season, one was 2-0. Blast winning the first meeting. 7-6 in overtime. That was kind of a wild affair. And then 4-3, which was the game in Dallas a couple of weeks ago. Really a game not unlike what we've seen so far here tonight. Bruce Savage back on the Blast bench, looking marvelous. So I think that Bruce will be okay, and that's good news for Baltimore fans.
Minute of play here in the second quarter about to unfold as Moreland stands by goalkeeper Chris Sobieski. The lone man up front is Andy Chapman. Chapman just about worked it free, and Sobieski says there was contact inside the box, and that's exactly what's going to happen. As Chapman argues it, the card comes out.
Well, I think they may be right on this one. I think that's what I saw, but the replay will confirm it or not. Sobieski clearly has the ball. Chapman comes in on him and pokes the ball out of his hands. So for that infraction, Chapman will ride 2 minutes on the Pines. Dallas will get an extra man advantage for the final 31 seconds of the half, and then have an additional minute 29 with the extra man as we start the third period. I don't think there was any intent there on Chapman's part. It just happened. The ball, when Sobieski retrieved the ball, it was rather low in his crouch, and Chapman just, I think it was incidental contact. But
it's a penalty.
It's a penalty.
14:29, the time of the call, and a real break here for Dallas. The Sidekicks have the man advantage now on the power play, and will finish out the half with a man advantage. They'd love to go to the dressing room here with a 2-goal lead. Right now it's a 2-1 score. Off the glass, played back out, and Tattoo has control of the ball. 8 seconds to go. Cuts in, tries to get past Whitman. A block by Savage in front. Back to Smith. He feeds the corner, and just as it's picked up by David Stride, the horn sounds to signal the end of play here in the first half. So that penalty will continue on. A minute 29 left in it when we resume action in the third quarter. And the goal by Tattoo is the difference. McLeod with his 10th of the year. Stankovic his 23rd back in the first quarter. And Tattoo's 45th of the season. As the difference in this game as Dallas leads the Blast by a 2-1 count. We mentioned the shots in the first quarter, 12-5 favoring Dallas. It'll be interesting to see what those shots are for the second quarter, and we'll pass those along to you here during our halftime program. Kenny Cooper, the coach of the Baltimore Blast, is standing by and will be with us just momentarily downstairs here as we're at halftime in this game.
and friends.
And as Kenny is getting hooked up downstairs to talk to us, and we understand he's ready now, we'll talk to Kenny right now. Kenny, seems like Savage is having an excellent defensive game out there and watching Tattoo, but there appeared to be one time when Savage was on the bench and Tattoo was on the field without Savage to do any defending against him. Was that simply a change up there? Did Gordon Jago slip Tattoo out there and get him on when Savage was tired at the time, or how did that come about?
Well, you know, Tattoo's a real smart player, and he plays a little bit similar to Jungle and Haskoven. He tries to play a game with a defender, and that particular time Sobieski had the ball. We was all marked up, and he threw the ball down the floor, and Scotty came out, and with his great skill he put the ball in the back of the net. I think you know, we come out firing. We're going to pressure tonight. We're going to force this game our way, and I was real pleased with the first period. I think they're a very good team, and we just have to start pressuring a little bit more intelligently. We're not playing as a group right now. When you're pushing in pressure, all 5 players on the floor have to push forward at one time, and the quarters on both goals where maybe 3 players pushed in and 2 players hung off a little bit. But we'll regroup at halftime.
Kenny, on the first goal, Brady failed to clear the ball out of your zone, and they intercepted it, and really, I thought got a free goal. Is that the way you saw it?
Well, it's an honest mistake. You know, we've got some youngsters in here, and I understand those honest mistakes, and I talked with Michael, and you got to learn from that. And the good thing about this group of players is nobody got on him, and we're going to win this game, Chris. We'll turn it around the second half. Believe me, we're a close group of players, and nobody said it was going to be easy, and we can't feel sorry for ourselves without a couple of players, but we'll be back in the second half. We just need to tighten up a little bit better defensively and make better decisions as a team.
Kenny, how's Scott Manning holding up so far?
I think
know there was some
fine.
concern about his knee.
He's hurting a little bit, but you know, it's that time of the year. I think tough times never last, but tough people do. And right now, it's character time for the Blast. And as I said in the locker room before the game, it's gut check time. And the true test of a team is when you're under pressure, you've got some injuries. And let's not feel sorry for ourselves. We'll figure out a way to win this game.
Kenny, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate the visit.
Thank you very much.
Kenny Cooper, the coach of the Baltimore Blast, stopping by here at the end of one half of play. It's Dallas 2 and the Baltimore Blast 1. We'll return with more live exclusive action right here on Home Sports Entertainment and Home Team Sports.
My wild Irish rose, the sweetest flower that grows, and someday for my sake she may let me take the bloom from my wild Irish rose.
On St. Paddy's Day, celebrate with the only American beer that's also brewed and bottled in Ireland, Budweiser.
A tape of this quality deserves to be played in the most sophisticated of systems. Because Sony Premium Tape has more music, where other tapes have distortion and hiss. Sony Audio Tape. It's the closest you can get to music.
While a small bank has its charm, it may not be as sound as you'd like. On the other hand, some large banks have such a volume of accounts that no one seems to hear you. But Grand Bank is perfectly scaled and beautifully balanced to meet your needs for stability and responsiveness. Since 1927, we've been making your money perform. Grand Banks, we're not small, we're not large, we're just grand.
A message from the Black Eyed Pea. Why home may not be the best place for home cooking tonight. The Black Eyed Pea, on the other hand, is always the best place for home cooking. We cook your favorites from family recipes with the finest ingredients, served in generous portions with lots of loving care. So come on over to our kitchen, the Black Eyed Pea. Home cooking worth going out for.
Mike Stankovic has the lone Baltimore goal at the end of one half of play, his 23rd of the season. Wes McLeod with his 10th of the year for Dallas, and Tattoo number 45 on the season, giving Dallas the margin so far. Shots on goal during the second quarter, 7 for the Sidekicks, 2 for the Blast, and a halftime total of 19 for Dallas and 7 for Baltimore after the first half of play. Andy Chapman still in the penalty box. He's got a minute and 29 seconds to serve when we pick up the action during the third quarter. And Andy's been doing a lot of goal scoring, among other good things, for the Baltimore Blast recently. Had the chance to talk to him about his recent turn of success. Andy Chapman of the Blast is finding more and more the scoring responsibilities coming his way these days, and I guess when you talk about winning strings, and one just ended for your club recently with that loss at St. Louis, that has to build a lot of confidence, winning a lot of games and getting a lot of goals, and things are going your way.
Well, I think if you look at any team that wins a championship, during the course of the season, they string a lot of games together where they get good results, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to get some good results. I think in St. Louis, not only did we lose, it was a bad result. We need to beat these bad teams with bad records. We've proved that we can beat the Dallases and the San Diegos. We need to get some good results against, I won't call them bad teams, but teams that have a below 500 record.
Now, your role on this team is a little different than it was, let's say, when you played in Cleveland. In fact, it's probably more like the role you had when you were with Wichita.
Yeah, in Cleveland, I was getting used in midfield during the middle part of the season, and it was an unfamiliar role. So obviously I'm very happy to be in my familiar role as a target man, and I'm enjoying it very much.
Kenny Cooper worries that sometimes the Blast play to the level of the competition. Is that what you were talking about when you talked about the St. Louis game?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've got to get an attitude into our heads that whatever game that we go into, whether it be against a team that's in last place or a team that's in first place, we have to play exactly the same way, and it's a mentality that we've got to get now and adopt it to carry us right through into the last part of the season.
You must enjoy the games, especially against Cleveland, not only because of the rivalry that's already between these two teams, but because of the fact that you used to play there.
Well, I do enjoy them, but really and truly it feels in my mind now that I wasn't even at Cleveland. The whole time I was there, and this is going to seem funny to say this, I never felt like I was a Cleveland player. It was a hard transition for me going from Wichita, where I'd been there for 6 seasons, into a Cleveland uniform, and I never really felt that I was a Cleveland player, and so therefore it doesn't really feel that great to go into Cleveland and play them.
Sounds like a difference of night and day to the relationship you must be having here with this team.
Exactly. This is like it was in Baltimore. We're a lot more close. You get to see management and ownership, and it seems like we're all here for one reason, and that's just to do well on and off the field, and it feels good to be here.
Andy, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Andy Chapman, our guest at halftime. Of course, there's only one Tattoo, and the MISL has never been the same since he first came aboard. 3 years of competition, 3 all-star appearances, and Chris Thomas had the chance to visit with Tattoo.
We're at halftime at the Baltimore Civic Arena, and you know, every sport needs superstars. That's true for the Major Indoor Soccer League, and this is truly one of the superstars of indoor soccer, a man known around the league as Tattoo. Now, your real name is Antonio Carlos Pecoraro?
Antonio Carlos Pecorari.
Well, that's pretty close. I think that's why they call him Tattoo. It's a lot easier. But that means armadillo in Portuguese. Now, how did that come about?
Well, everything started in Brazil when my father worked in a train station. You know, when your father have a nickname in my country, it's going through to the next son, and happened with me. You know, my brother got the nickname first, and after, you know, I got the nickname because he's working. You know, he always get under the train to get the numbers, and the people start saying, "Oh, Tattoo," you know, yeah. And that's the way he got the nickname.
All right, I was talking just a moment ago about every sport needing superstars, Tattoo, and aside from your physical skills, which are great, you're always among the leading goal scorers in the league, you excite crowds by taking your shirt off after every goal. Where did that originate? How did that start?
Everything started in Tampa. When I come play for Tampa Bay Rowdies, the team was struggling. You know, not many people was coming watching the game, and our general manager at that time was in Brazil when I watch a game, and the guy in Brazil he took off his jersey when he scored a goal, and he asked me if I can do the same thing. I said, well, let's try. And I started doing Tampa, but the thing didn't work as well I want, and I stopped. But the moment I come to Dallas, they say, hey, please do it. I say, all right, let's do it.
Well, evidently they like the flesh a little bit more in Dallas. Well, they have a lot of women fans in Dallas?
Well, I think is in the beginning when our first year, we knew we were going to have problems with the team. We knew we couldn't have a good team. So we had to call attention different way. And I think the jerseys help us a lot. We got a lot of free, on the TV, on the paper and the radio about the jersey, and that's what we need.
The Major Indoor Soccer League, of course, is trying to market the strongest teams and the most exciting players in the league, and that's certainly the case with you. Does that place additional pressure on you, knowing that the league really is looking to people like you and Steve Jungle in Tacoma, Stan Stamenkovich when he was here in Baltimore, to carry the load and to bring this sport to people who might not otherwise ever see indoor soccer?
Well, I think this is great, because they promoting us and they promoting the game, and it's really important, and we need more. Not just me, Steve, and Branco, and you mentioned Stamenkovich, and I think we need more guys, to come in and to be, to be a person can the fans relate and say, okay, at least I'm come to the game the first time. I'll go give you a chance to the game just to see this guy, and after I guarantee the person will be back because the game is great.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your ball club, the Dallas Sidekicks. Last year was a nice turnaround season. 2 years ago, not so good. Last year, you made a nice move late in the season. You reached the playoffs, and even though you lost in the first round, there was a sense that your team had finally reached a competitive level in the league. This year, a little bit better, yes? And if so, how close are you to really the Cleveland or Baltimore's or San Diego's of the league?
Well, I believe we can, I think in the end of the season, be a lot of surprise. And our division is really strong. And the team right now, our team is having problem with injuries. But we are a strong side. And I believe with another 2 or 3 players, we can fight for the championship. Not in our division, but in the league. Because I believe we're a strong side, and right now, Baltimore is a little bit ahead on us because they have more experience than us. And the same thing with Cleveland, because we're kind of young club, and we still have young players playing in the midfield. They don't know how to pace the game.
Tattoo, you talk about injuries. The season is very long, 52 games. Do you have to pace yourself? Can you really play all out every night?
Well, I believe some of the players and the other teams, they can do that. It's not the case in myself, because right now we struggle in offense position because it's just have me and the other forward, Howard, he's been in and out because injuries. So I have to take the load. Sometimes I stay longer than I'm supposed to on the field to try, help a little bit more. But, things you have to do, and I don't mind to do it. And I hope I can keep going and go through the playoffs and no injuries.
Continued good luck.
Thank you.
One of the real stars of indoor soccer, Tattoo of the Dallas Sidekicks, and we'll be back with more halftime activities after this.
I've been all the way to West Texas, all the way to the east, and I stand just as tall in the saddle as I do on the city streets. And no matter where I find myself, from Abilene to the Rio Grande, I pledge my allegiance to the king out there. I'm a genuine bud man. Bud. I'm a bud man.
And pure wool have never been in better shape. The fit for the fit. Gallery by Hager.
Thirsty is just part of my job, but I have my own ideas about thirst quenchers. USA Wet tastes good, and it doesn't have that aftertaste. When you work up a thirst, USA Wet has what your body needs and tastes better.
USA Wet. Finally, a sports drink that tastes good. Now in 3 delicious flavors.
Wet. Never tasted so good.
Don't miss out on the fun and excitement. Bud Sports and ESPN bring you the major indoor soccer league game of the week. It's the MISL on ESPN. Check local listings for times.
It's the Dallas Sidekicks 2 and the Baltimore Blast 1. Here before a lovey-dovey crowd at the Baltimore Arena tonight. The first half that saw Dallas badly out-shooting Baltimore. 12-5 in the first quarter, 7-2 in the second. And the Blast are going to have to change that. Have to get more chances of their own if they're going to get ahead in this game.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that guy came up for air. Here's Mike Stankovic, the first scorer of the game, and he just breaks out from his own end, and the Blast had a 3-on-2 opportunity, and kaboom! Mike lets go with the right foot and the full fly, and Baltimore led 1-0. Defensive mistake by the Blast. Michael Brady failed to get the ball out. The ball was banged off the boards, and it centered out to McLeod, who rammed it by the diving Manning, who really had no chance, and it was all even at 1-1. And then Dallas got the go-ahead goal as Bruce Savage, the man entrusted with man-to-man marking of Tattoo, the brilliant offensive star of Dallas, was off the floor. Savage got caught in a line switch. You'll see 2 Blast defenders collide right there. The ball comes free. Manning has to come out and challenge her. He's a dead duck. And Tattoo, with just a superior move, slides the ball underneath Manning's outstretched legs for the goal and the go-ahead score for Dallas, 2-1. Very interesting first half, but I'm just wondering how much of a carryover from the St. Louis game the Blast is seeing in this game, because the offense, which has been so spectacular, has not been the last 6 quarters. Stankovic, of course, getting him on top. McLeod with the tying score, and then Tattoo unassisted to make it 2-1. And we'll begin the third period with Dallas holding a man advantage because of the penalty late in the second quarter to Andy Chapman. So Dallas will be on the power play for 1 minute and 29 seconds. I hope you enjoyed the interview with Tattoo. Of course, you know a little bit more about him back in the Dallas area than maybe we do here in Baltimore, but he's a delightful young man. He realizes that he has charisma and that he's so important to the ultimate success of this league, which, by the way, was featured in an article in USA Today. If you haven't read it, pick up a copy and read it. It's very interesting.
All right, we're underway now with the second half. Still power play situation for Dallas. And the Blast shorthanded there, getting an opportunity to get a shot off, but the Sidekicks come back now, and Smith brings the ball upfield.
Dave McKenzie on the floor for the first time tonight for Baltimore.
This is Tattoo, number 9. Back to Smith. McLeod breaks it free. Back to Tattoo in the corner. He fires and scores. Milano was there for the tip-in, and he should get credit for the goal as he jammed the net and stood right next to Scott Manning and got just enough of the ball to send it into the goal on the power play. The Sidekicks have taken a lead of 3-1.
Well, here's McLeod. He got it started with the pass to Tattoo, takes the shot, and it's knocked in as Milano scoring his first goal for Dallas since being acquired in the trade. Just knocks it by, and it's a severe angle. And, of course, Milano is there to redirect it into the goal. Whitman couldn't get him out of the box. So that's a really nice score on the power play for Dallas. And Willie Milano's first goal for the Sidekicks.
Milano's trying to say he didn't score it. Tattoo came off with a shirt, threw it up into the crowd. He wants that goal. I thought that was Milano's goal. Now, are they saying that that went off Manning into the net? I thought it hit Milano.
I don't think it ever hit Scott. Scott was outstretched. If anything, it went in off of Milano, or it didn't go off anyone but Tattoo's foot. Maybe we can get another look at it when we get a chance.
In any event, Dallas still has the lead, and 3-1 is the score. Here's Tattoo being challenged, and Savage gave him a push. There's the first foul called here in the third quarter. Tripping is the call. Chapman in the corner ties up, and Savage tries to work it free. Smith puts right in front, and Milano goes twice to the net. First time he hit the glass, the second time Manning with a save.
Great save.
Tattoo charging in front, falls on Manning, but Scott is able to hang on to the ball.
Nice gesture by Tattoo. Here's the goal again. McLeod starts it, and Savage just a tad late getting over. The shot by Tattoo, and did it hit anyone?
Hit Milano.
Yeah, I think
well, no, maybe they're saying it went off the Baltimore defender.
It could have
in front of the net.
Might have gone off of Whitman, in which case then it would be Tattoo's goal.
Could quite possibly have gone off the Baltimore defender, and Tattoo and Milano certainly agreed on it, saying that it should be Tattoo's goal. So pencil Tattoo in.
And Milano out. And that's
Milano out. That's his 46th of the year and second of this game.
And a great way for Milano to endear himself to his new teammates.
Here's Chapman firing. That's deflected and goes up into the seats.
Terrific kick saved by Sobieski. And great reaction by Chris, because Chapman had a real good angle on this ball. He spins, he fires, and very quickly there Sobieski, realizing the only place for that ball to go was the far post, and he was there to stop it. That's a move born of experience. Sobieski knowing that Chapman had to be to that side of the net.
McLeod gets the assist at 14:21 on Tattoo's 46th of the season. And that was a power play goal. Here's a quick drive, and David Stride got in the way to block it. Out comes McLeod off the boards. Leads it ahead, but Whitman is there to capture. He starts back. Tim Whitman to McKenzie. Now to Mike Stankovic. Back out to McKenzie again. Walks in for the shot. Goes to the corner. It's taken back now by Hayden Knight. And a whistle here to stop play. It's the second Dallas foul. This one's tripping. It'll be a free kick for the Blast.
Well, Keith is obviously not pleased.
Quick shot, and Chapman has it deflected upstairs.
Another good job by the Dallas defense. They have been terrific and consistent all night long in setting up that screen outside for Sobieski. This is such an important game for Dallas, Mike. Their lifetime record, as we've mentioned, 2 wins, 11 defeats. They've had Baltimore on the ropes before and not been able to win. To do it tonight here in Baltimore would be a tremendous boost.
Quick shot and a save made by Sobieski as he stopped that hard drive that came off the foot of McKenzie. Back to Hayden Knight. McLeod chases it up the boards, and now Mike Stankovic takes over. He's bumped on the play. McLeod draws the foul. Pushing is the call, the third against Dallas with 12:11 to go in this quarter.
Well, that could be a factor. 3 fouls in the first 3 minutes.
Stankovic back to the corner. Out to McKenzie. McKenzie off the backboard, a shot, and a goal! From right in front. Tapped home easily. And the Blast back in the game at 3-2 on the goal by Keith Murphy.
Well, this is a goal which says what this game's all about. Human pinball. McKenzie just knocks it off the boards to center it. In the box, Murphy's there. Sobieski screened by Whitman. No chance on the ball. And a quick retaliatory goal for the Blast to pull back within 1. And for Keith Murphy, who has been playing extremely well lately, that's his 20th goal of the season. But McKenzie made the play with the centering pass off the boards. Murphy right there to put it away.
3:04 the time of the goal. A correction on the time of the earlier score by Tattoo. The correct time of that goal was 39 seconds. 39 seconds into the third quarter.
You're sitting in section
the goal by Tattoo and this goal by Murphy at 3:04. McKenzie the assist. Keith Murphy picking up his 20th of the season. Over the head of the goalkeeper Sobieski, and the sidekicks keep it out of there.
Well, we almost had an exchange of blows down here in the corner between Victor Moreland and Keith Murphy. They both got their hands up, and I thought one of them was going to throw a punch. You won't see it right here as the Dallas defense got back to protect Sobieski, who had to come out on Furphy, and then Moreland and Furphy exchanged a few hands. Not quite fisticuffs, but hands.
Here's Moreland in the corner. Child in to take him over. Furphy a shot and a goal! Back-to-back goals by Keith Furphy. The game is tied.
I think they made the wrong man unhappy because Furphy has come on with a vengeance here in seconds. Paul Child again centering the ball. Sobieski can't get out to it, and Furphy in the middle of the box as he was moments ago puts it away for his second goal of the night and his 21st goal of the season. And this game is tied at 3. And Dallas, this might be a good time for Gordon Jago to call a timeout because the crowd now is really into the game.
Furphy's 21st of the season at 3:43. Here's Drago. Back to Savage.
One of the great things. This game changes so fast, Mike. It's just tremendous.
Right ahead to Drago on the boards. He drops it off, and walking in is a shot by Chapman. That's wide. Stankovic works it free from Smith. Drago momentarily with possession, and now it's taken back to Tattoo. Savage right on him with a block. Stankovic eases it over to Scott Manning.
And a great play by Savage because he blocked what would have been a pass to Milano for what would have been a very easy Dallas goal. And that's the kind of stuff you don't see in the box score.
Tattoo charging in on Savage now. Another block. Drago leads it out to Mike Stankovic. He's got Chapman in the corner. Stankovic to Drago. Back out to Savage. Now to Chapman. David Stride gets in there and moves it all the way back downfield. 3-3 score, 10 minutes to play. Third quarter. Here's Stankovic. Out to Reynolds. Tries to push it past McLeod, and as he gets it in front, Stride clears it all the way down.
Boy, for a minute I thought Reynolds was going to be tripped headfirst into the boards.
Andy Chapman. Out to Reynolds. Chapman firing quickly over now for Ronson, but it's taken over by Victor Moreland. And now the whistle. The Blast will play it quickly. Illegal procedure, the call against Dallas. It's their 4th foul. The Blast have taken 2. Here's Furphy, and this time he put it all the way up in the upper deck. Keith was smelling that third goal of the night on that one.
It's like just after you've had a birdie on the golf course, you step up to the tee and you feel like you're going to crush your drive, and you wind up hitting it in the lake. A little too much adrenaline there, but they got the shot they wanted. Furphy, who was deadly with his left foot, was able to break from right to left, and he simply mishit the ball. Furphy, part of what they call in Baltimore the Fabulous Four. McKenzie, Child, Furphy, and Chapman, 4 of the new additions to the Baltimore club this year, and they have been very productive.
Here's McLeod. Furphy's right on him. Now it's sent into the Baltimore bench. It'll be a kick in for Dallas with 9:10 to play, third quarter. 3-3 score.
Kenny Cooper, you know, he's getting into the game now. You notice the jacket's off, the tie is unleashed, the button's down open to the second button. Kenny's one of those guys you ought to get to do a deodorant commercial. And there's Gordon Jago looking very relaxed, more like a businessman.
Hayden Knight back into the corner. To Howard Gale, he's tied up. Some contact along the sideboards, and Ronson brings it ahead for the Blast. Dumps it into the corner. Here's Moreland to play it. Bounced at the side of the goal, and Sobieski makes the grab. and sends it into the penalty box out of play.
Those 2 goals by Furphy have really put a lit of fire underneath this Baltimore club. They are now beating Dallas to more free balls than Dallas did to Baltimore in the first half. The flow has really changed here. I haven't seen one of my, hey, doesn't he look like shots yet tonight, you know? Every game we have, Mike, I always see somebody who reminds me of somebody, and I haven't seen anybody who reminds me of anybody.
Have to find somebody.
Well, we're going to have to do that. Let's get the crew involved here. One of these nights, one of these Hollywood stars will actually be here. It won't be somebody who looks like somebody.
I think you'd be at the Los Angeles Forum.
That's right.
Here's Tattoo over to David Stride from a bad angle, and it's played back out to Drago. Slows it up to let Whitman bring the ball out. Tattoo with a steal from Drago. Fires, and Manning with a save. Came out and cut the angle down.
Great save.
Here's Stankovic starting back upfield. He's got Drago in front. Crisscrosses. A shot. Knocked up into the sands by Lawson.
That's got to be the 12th time tonight the Dallas defense has saved Sobieski by blocking a shot from right in front. Drago was just a half step late on that ball. I don't think he got it just like he wanted to get it. Now Cooper's really going to work over there on the last bench. To explain to you folks who are tuning in out in Texas, it's my theory that everybody looks like somebody else that we know. And usually we have one of those, we have a small feature like that. Every Blast game here at the arena, but we haven't found any Jack Nicholson lookalikes tonight. Here's the last shot. Now you're going to see the ball. It'll be dropped to Drago at the top of the box. Stankovic will come, drop the ball, and see the spin on it. And Drago simply overran the ball. He still got off a pretty good shot, but his angle had been destroyed by that point, so he really wasn't able to direct it. Now here's Manning with a kick save on Tattoo, and this also one of the things Manning does best. He's not the classic stand-up goalie. Very active and very quick feet, and the only way to stop that shot was with his feet, and Scott did it. Good job.
Been said many times that anybody who plays the position of goalkeeper in any sport has to rely on reactions, and that play certainly a reaction play by Scott Manning, and it was the right way.
Absolutely. Now there's somebody who looks like everybody that I see on the morning after New Year's Eve. So that's every man right there. That's everyone's worst nightmare right there.
3-3 score, and here's Furphy, a shot, and a goal! Right off the kick. Keith Furphy drills it home into the corner, and the Blast have gone ahead 4-3.
Well, here it comes out of the corner. Stankovic centers it, and Furphy lets it fly. His third goal in what? The last couple of minutes here, and that's the second hat trick for Furphy so far this season. A good centering pass, and there's that left foot, which is one of the most dangerous in the MISL. So an explosion of goals in a very short period of time for Keith Furphy, and the Blast, trailing 3-1 just a few minutes ago, has now assumed the lead for the second time tonight. 3 unanswered goals and a 4-3 Baltimore lead.
Keith Furphy gets the hat trick goal, his 22nd of the season. Stankovic the assist. Here's a shot and a goal! This time it's Savage who breaks loose. And the Blast have exploded, going ahead by 2 goals at 5-3.
Well, Bruce Savage seldom makes the highlight reel for his offensive production, but he makes it here tonight. And I'll tell you, this has got to be a shell-shocked Dallas Sidekicks team. Another angle, Chapman actually had the ball poked away by the defense, and it came out to Savage, who was on the run, and Sobieski had no chance at the ball. So 4 unanswered goals now for Baltimore, a 5-3 lead in a shell-shocked Dallas Sidekicks club. shows you how quickly things can change in this wild and wonderful, wacky game of indoor soccer. Keith Murphy with an explosion, a hat trick, 3 goals, his second hat trick of the season, lifting Baltimore out of its moribund play. Baltimore, having its 10-game win streak snapped the other night in St. Louis with a 2-1 overtime loss. During the 10-game win streak, Baltimore was the most explosive team in the league. They've been averaging like 6.5 goals a game. Well, they're on their way to that figure again tonight. 5 already, and a long way to go.
Savage, his 6th of the year from Chapman at 7:14, just 10 seconds after Murphy hit for the hat trick goal. Dallas had led by 2 at 3-1 after that power play score from Tattoo. And there have been 4 unanswered goals scored by Baltimore since then. Tattoo trying to reverse that trend now. But it's played back by the Blast.
And blocked by Savage.
Here comes Runson all the way downfield, and Sobieski out to make the grab. Leads now to Tattoo. Sends it over to Milano. Willie Milano. Turns, goes up the middle to Tattoo. Turnaround shot, hits the glass. Manning didn't get much on it, but is able to clear it ahead to Child.
Nicely conceived play by Dallas, however. They got the ball right there in the box at the high post. Couldn't get the shot.
Savage into the corner. Brings it out. Drago chasing it up the boards. Ties up with McLeod. Reynolds watches it go back, and Tattoo takes over. Out to Victor Moreland. 5-3 score, 6 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. The Blast in the lead by a pair. Here's Chapman. Over to Drago. Off the boards, and Chapman tries to work it in front. Now he's double-teamed in the corner, and finally Drago works it loose. Stankovic tees one up and sends it well up into the seats.
He's going to kill somebody if he keeps that up. That's the second rocket launcher that Mike has fired up into the nether regions of the arena tonight.
With that much steam on it, and he had that shot on goal, there wouldn't have been much time for Sobieski to move anywhere.
No, I don't think so. I guess next to Richard Chinapu, who's out of the lineup right now with strained knee ligaments and will be for another week or so. Stankovic might have the hardest shot on the team. Gordon Jago looking a little less relaxed than he did a few minutes ago, and that's understandable. I think now that Dallas just need not get frustrated. There's a long way to go, and they've already seen by example how quickly things can change. You just have to wonder about the psychological part of it.
Mike Stankovic back to chase Gale to the corner. Oh, pushes him down, and there'll be a whistle there. Pushing against the Blacks. 3rd foul. There are also 3 against Dallas.
And Gale exchanged a few words with Stankovic when he got off the floor. I mean, Mike dropped him pretty good. I wouldn't have been surprised to see it 2 minutes on that play, but it didn't happen. So now we'll watch to see if Gale and Stankovic get into it any further.
Here's Doc Lawson. Moves into the corner, works it off the corner board, and Stankovic starts back. McKenzie brings it up. To Runson. Back out to Keith Murphy. Hayden Knight. Back to Gale. Now to McLeod. Runson pokes it back out to midfield. Loose ball, and Child takes over, brings it back to Manning. Crowd giving some oohs and ahs there, as though Child was going to try and maybe accidentally shoot on Manning, but Manning saw that ball the whole way. He knew where Child was bringing it. Now Runson gets a push in there from Moreland. Back out to McKenzie, to Billy Runson. Runson takes a shot. That's blocked. Powers out to McLeod. All the way to midfield.
Good job by Powers.
Hayden Knight charges in and looks to the left. Gives off to McLeod. He boards it right in front. Tattoo got a foot on it. Now Tattoo given a push, and there will be a call here against McKenzie. There's the 4th foul called against the Blast, and Dallas with a free kick.
Yeah, that's a good call. McKenzie dropped him. There's no question about that.
David Stride. Out to Powers. Another whistle. This time it's a push against Tattoo of Dallas.
All right, we're getting some frustration now out here on the field, and what we're seeing are payback fouls. You know, you push me and I'm going to get you back. So I think the 2 officials here now are going to start blowing the whistle a lot until the players on the floor figure out that if they keep doing it, it's only going to hurt their team with a 2-minute penalty.
4 fouls per side. The Blast have outscored Dallas 5-3 with 3:15 to play. Here's Furphy looking for number 4. And Sobieski grabs the ball at the side of the net. All the way back into the corner. Savage sends it back out to midfield. Here's Drago. Couldn't get it. Tattoo taken over by Stankovic.
I'll tell you, if Furphy can get that 4th goal, he'll match what Mike Stankovic has done on 2 occasions this season. Stankovic with a pair of 4-goal games.
Savage up the boards, looking for Drago. Finds it. Drago to midfield. Moves it across the line, and Lawson takes it back. Over to Milano. Willie Milano, just acquired from the Los Angeles Lasers. Cuts in. Pass to the corner, winds up right over to Whitman.
Nobody home.
2 minutes, 10 seconds to play. 3rd quarter. Dallas is changing on the fly. Stankovic off the crossbar. He sent a rocket right off the top crossbar, and it bounded down just outside the goal line.
Gonna have to lower the gun sights just another notch. What a bomb that was. Good booga wooga.
Here is Tattoo back out to Powers. Hayden Knight to Victor Moreland.
That ball had hit Sobieski in the face. He would have been talking funny for 2 months.
Furphy intercepting in midfield, but Moreland takes it over. Now Whitman returns the ball to Baltimore possession. Moreland and Furphy along the sideboard. Runson picks it up. Knight chases him back to the corner. And here's a whistle against Dallas, their 5th foul, but only 1 minute 6 seconds left to go.
Well, Hayden Knight a little too aggressive here. He just kind of reached in with a left hand, and Bronson might have taken one of those classic swan dives, but nonetheless, Hayden was reaching in with a left hand, and now Dallas is really in trouble here if they wind up with the 6th foul, because Baltimore is going to get a power play with a 2-goal lead.
Here's Savage to the corner, fires a shot. Deflected up into the seats, and we have 59 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Good crowd here tonight, Mike. They'll announce it at the end of the 3rd period, but I would guess, you know, having been here so often, that there are at least 11,000 here tonight, maybe a little more than that. Capacity is about 12.5 here at the renovated Baltimore Civic Arena.
April 17th will be the rematch at Reunion Arena in Dallas.
I'm looking forward to it.
Here comes Tattoo. Out to McLeod, and now Doc Lawson. David Stride moves upfield. In the corner for Hayden Knight.
Now look to get the ball on Stankovic's foot right here, because he's the best dribbler on the team, and maybe he can draw that 6th foul.
21 seconds to go. Furphy starts upfield. Dumps it ahead. Drago going after it in the corner. Works in. Back to Stankovic. A shot that's blocked by Stride. Tattoo knocks it down. 6 seconds remaining. Whitman tries to overtake it midfield to Savage. Out to Furphy. Furphy, as time runs out, shoots wide. So we finished 3 quarters of play here in Baltimore at the arena. And what a third quarter. All kinds of scoring, and it was done mostly by the Blast, who outscored Dallas 4-1. 5-3 Baltimore. More action coming up after this.
Bud Thunder. It's revved up and coming at you.
A message from the Black Eyed Pea. Why home may not be the best place for home cooking tonight. The Black Eyed Pea, on the other hand, is always the best place for home cooking. We cook your favorites from family recipes with the finest ingredients, served in generous portions with lots of loving care. So come on over to our kitchen, the Black Eyed Pea. Home cooking worth going out for.
A tape of this quality deserves to be played in the most sophisticated of systems. Because Sony Premium Tape has more music, where other tapes have distortion and hiss. Sony Audio Tape. It's the closest you can get to music.
While a small bank has its charm, it may not be as sound as you'd like. On the other hand, some large banks have such a volume of accounts that no one seems to hear you. But Grand Bank is perfectly scaled and beautifully balanced to meet your needs for stability and responsiveness. Since 1927, we've been making your money perform. Grand Banks, we're not small, we're not large, we're just grand.
More live Major Indoor Soccer League action coming your way here tonight on Home Team Sports and Home Sports Entertainment. Mike Fornes along with Chris Thomas bringing you the action this evening. Mike Stankovic has not figured in the goal-scoring column except for way back in the beginning of this game with his 23rd of the year. I thought this was going to be number 24.
This is a graphic example of why every major indoor soccer league team needs a team orthodontist. Because if that ball had hit Sobieski in the face, he'd need bridge work tomorrow. A real rocket by Stankovic, who has had quite a few open shots on goal tonight. He kicked off the scoring in the first period with a rocket that Sobieski never saw, and subsequent to that hit a couple that wound up in the cheap seats. That time he lowered his sights a little bit, and it just nipped off the crossbar. But boy, you know, I tell you, I think I've said this before, Mike. I've gone to a few practice sessions with these guys before and gotten in goal like an idiot. And that ball will hit you so hard it'll literally drive you back 5 or 6 feet. And I have a great deal of admiration for these goalies in the MISL because this is not an easy job. Whoa.
Crowd tonight, 11,323 here at the Baltimore Arena.
There he is, the no-wax linoleum man, Drago. He's been a great addition to this ball club. The Blast picked him up from Chicago in exchange for Franz Matthew and Ernie Boriano. Chicago's been happy with what they got, and the Blast has had no kicks, no pun intended, with Drago.
Here's Drago cutting in a shot, and a nice stop by Moreland, a rebound, and Sobieski was able to stop Reynolds from point-blank range. Now Powers. Over to Milano. Willie Milano works in, trying to get by Reynolds. Walks in the corner and sends it back out. Off Drago's head. He took a shove. There's the first foul called here in the fourth quarter, and it is against Dallas.
Sobieski ought to take all of his defenders out to breakfast tomorrow morning for the job they've done in front of him. This is exactly what I mean. See the nice stop by the defense there. Sobieski would have had no shot on that ball.
Shot shots on goal during the third quarter. The Blast with 13. That's certainly more like it, more than they had had through the whole first half. And 6 shots on goal for Dallas, giving them a 3-period total of 25. The Blast with a 3-period total of 20.
And 4 of those 13 third-quarter shots found their way to the back of the net.
The ball out of play, and we'll have another kick in. This will be for Dallas.
Well, Stankovic blocked the shot, and he paid a little price for it. These guys pay a price for every blocked shot because, you know, it's not just the goalies who get beat up, but it's the players playing defense in front of the goalies who often deflect that ball coming in there at 70 or 75 miles an hour. Now, if you've had no experience in being hit with a hard ball like that at 75 miles an hour, believe me, it hurts. Which is why I'm in broadcasting, because my mama didn't raise no fool.
Just ask a bowling pin.
That's right.
Here's a loose ball, and it skids by Manning into the net. That one caromed right off the side post. Tattoo has his 3rd of the night, his 47th of the season. He has the hat trick for Dallas.
And he beat 2 guys to do it. What a marvelous goal this is by a marvelous player, Tattoo. Excuse me. First of all, he beats Savage right here. Look at him keep the ball alive, and then he moves it in and gets it past Whitman. So he beat 2 defenders, the best defender in the league, Savage, and then the backup guy, Whitman, and bang, it's in the net. What a night Tattoo's having. I guess we expect that from him, though. Oh, what a collision.
Victor Moreland gets the assist at 1:25 on the goal by Tattoo.
We had a terrific collision in the penalty box while we were looking at the Tattoo replay. Both players are all right, but I wonder how many jerseys, I should have asked Tattoo this in our halftime interview, how many jerseys he brings with him to each game.
2-game road trip? He must have brought at least a dozen.
I would think.
Just to be safe.
Sure.
You wouldn't want to be caught short.
Well, if he brought a dozen and he got 12 goals in 2 games, it'd be the skins against the shirts, wouldn't it? I mean, it'd be kind of embarrassing to go back and say, excuse me, ma'am, could I have my shirt back?
In pursuit upfield now as Whitman takes over from the Blast.
And you can see the goal by Tattoo has really just lifted the pressure now here on the Dallas Ball Club. They realize that they're back in the game. I think their daubers were down a little bit at the end of the third quarter, but a great player like Tattoo can lift you right back into it so quickly.
5-4 score. Baltimore has the lead. McLeod. Back into the corner. All the way out for Lawson. And now to Victor Moreland. Moreland charging in, and that ball being shot off every corner in the zone as Ronson finally brings it out. Ronson from a bad angle off the backboard. And back out again for Gale. Howard Gale.
McKenzie and Lawson are really going at it in the corner.
Quick play by McLeod to start back. Mickey Kite is making his first appearance out on the field in this game. Here's Stankovic cutting in. Moreland ties him up, pulled him down, and we do have a call on it.
And it was a late whistle, too. It's like the official said, well, should I or shouldn't I? Maybe or maybe not. Drago drops it off to Stankovic at the top of the box. Mike was trying to get the shot up and couldn't. Moreland wouldn't allow it. And I don't know, that's kind of a marginal call. Maybe that's why the whistle was so late.
Here's Chapman. His shot's blocked. It's sent all the way back out to midfield. McKenzie takes no chances, handing it back into Manning, but Manning clears it up into the crowd.
Good job by Kevin Smith to block the shot from in front. I don't know, Mike. Maybe we're heading for another overtime here. It certainly wouldn't be a shock. 3 times they've played, twice into overtime. There's Scotty. They call him Scooter on the ball club. Scooter Manning. Just got married last summer. As he and his wife Kathy have their first child on the way shortly.
Sobieski is able to take it. Drago was right there in case it came loose.
Kind of a miscommunication between Powers and Sobieski, you know. You take it, I got it, who's got it?
Here's Milano, back over to Hayden Knight. 5-4 score, Blast have the lead, 11:05 to play. Tattoo in the corner, Savage right on him. Works it free and starts back upfield to Chapman.
Dallas bench wanted a shoving foul called on Stankovic. They were really on the official yelling about that.
Here's Chapman in the corner. Tries to turn it around past Smith.
Wanted a handball.
Milano led ahead. Tattoo cutting in. Manning dives out and makes the stop. Tattoo shaken up on the play as he crashed into Manning. Here's Stankovic. Drops it off. A drive, and it's way up into the seats from Whitman.
We're going to see the save of the night by either goaltender, I think. And it's because of those great reflexes by Manning. He realized that he is one dead goalie, one DG, unless he gets out there. And there's that great hustle, good aggressive play. And Tattoo, of course, winds up eating some artificial turf. But give that one to Manning, or that ball's in the net. We're all even with 10:13 to go. Still 5-4 Baltimore. Good play by Scott, who's playing right through that pain in the left knee. In fact, to watch him on a play like that, you wouldn't know he was hurt.
Chris, you bring up the subject of overtime, and that's something that I'm sure at this point in the game Kenny Cooper would consider a sore spot. He wants his club to get a killer instinct. He wants them to put teams away. And the way they had a roll going earlier, Dallas was certainly in a position where they could have been put away. But the Sidekicks back in this game, and Cooper doesn't want them to get any further more into it, which would tie this score up at 5-all.
Well, I don't think it's because Baltimore's playing badly. I just think it's because Dallas got a great goal out of Tattoo.
Mickey Kiedis. Back over to Hayden Knight, and Victor Moreland flags it down out of midfield. Lawson rockets one off the glass. Chased back out to midfield.
Manning a little slow getting up that time. Favoring the left knee. 9:20 to play, fourth quarter. Kiedis settles it down. Over to McLeod. Hooked by Furphy, but into the corner. Furphy again trying to take it. High shot. This one off the glass. Manning landed on his back that time. And the Sidekicks still control the ball. A difference of inches. 2 shots in a row, or it would be all tied up.
Here's Child. Back to Whitman. Paul Child at midfield. Across the line to Drago. Cutting in. Centers it. And Milano plays it away.
Great job by Moreland to stop the pass, which was slotted for a man wide open.
Willie Milano back to pursue Drago to the corner, and Manning scoops it up.
Can't say enough about the Dallas defense here tonight. They have really made Sobieski's job a lot easier.
And some impressive ball control earlier, as no matter what the Blast did to try and clear it, Dallas still kept coming up with a soccer ball.
Yep. Look out.
Here's Stankovic cutting in. He feeds Chapman. Back to Stankovic. Goes to the left foot and fires, and this one curls over the glass and past the grandstand out of play.
He's got the ushers over there ducking. There were 4 of them, and they all thought that they're going to wind up in the infirmary. I'll tell you, Mike has not been shy about laying out some laser beams here tonight. We're going to get a timeout, too, Mike, with 7:54 to go. And Dallas down a goal, 5-4. What an interesting game this has turned out to be. And what an important game it is for Dallas. Now, Dallas comes in here tonight just a couple of games behind Baltimore, and if they're able to win, they really tighten things up in the Eastern Division. Of course, if they lose, then they're going to fall 4 games behind, and at this stage in the season, to make up 4 games, a little bit tough, but if they win, they're within 2 games in the loss column, and they tighten it all up for Cleveland and Minnesota as well. So this is really turning out to be a terrific division race, and she's a terrific fan.
Hi. Could be a tough road trip for the Dallas Sidekicks. They go on to Chicago Sunday afternoon, and while Dallas has only won once here by a score of 5-4 back on December the 8th of '85, they have never won in the Rosemont Horizon. That's where that game will take place on Sunday afternoon between the Sting and the Sidekicks.
Tough place to play in because the dasher boards are clear plexiglass all the way around, and all the rest of the dasher boards are solid in the league. When you go into the Rosemont, it's all clear plexiglass, so your perspective and the way you see the ball come off the boards is totally different than anywhere else in the league. It's been a real problem for everyone who's gone in there to visit this year. Baltimore's been to Chicago a couple of times and hadn't figured that place out yet.
Here's a loose ball that Sobieski runs over to clear out, rolling suspiciously toward the net, and Chris really had no problem catching up to it.
And the Blast will be home Sunday night at 7:35 against St. Louis, the team they lost to 2-1 in overtime on Tuesday night. And then, of course, Dallas will be back home on Tuesday night against the Wichita Wings, 7:05 p.m. start at the Reunion Arena. First 5,000 fans get a free autographed tattoo Baskin-Robbins poster.
Shot off the sideboards, and Savage kicks that one upstairs.
Kicking Dallas.
Be a kick in here for Dallas. 2 fouls for the Blast, 2 for the Sidekicks. 7:22 to play in the 4th quarter, and the Blast still holding a 5-4 lead.
Cooper chewing that gum a little more fiercely over on the Blast bench. Stankovic, the future accordion star, once his playing days are over, back out onto the floor. They're trying to post a guy up here in the box against Whitman.
McLeod back to the corner. Mickey Kaitis chases it back out to midfield and gives it off to Powers. Stankovic heads that one up into the crowd. Mickey Kaitis getting a lot of playing time here in the latter part of the 3rd quarter and here on into the 4th.
Yeah, I don't think we saw him in the first half, but both coaches, because of so many injuries, have really, I think, had to spot play their players. They can't get full shifts for 4 quarters out of some of these guys.
Tripping call here against the Blast. 3rd foul. Here's Hayden Knight bouncing it toward the net. Whitman just got in the way.
Just as the Dallas defense has saved Sobieski on so many occasions, Whitman there helping out his goalkeeper with a nice block in front.
Hayden Knight back over to Mike Powers. Into the corner for Tattoo. Savage marks him there. Now Drago tries to move the ball up the boards and finds Mike Stankovic. Back to Whitman. Stankovic to Drago. Savage into the corner. Back to Chapman. Mike Stankovic setting up with Tattoo in pursuit. Loose ball, and Chapman got a piece of it, but not enough to send it on net.
Good opportunity for Chapman. He just couldn't get his foot on the ball and place any power on it.
Stankovic steals, cranks one up. It's blocked into the air by Sobieski. And now a whistle and a push. McLeod was tripped up, and the foul is against Baltimore.
Well, the fans here thought he pulled a Buster Crab on that one. He just took a dive. Doesn't really matter, but that's number 4, and Baltimore in a little bit of a precarious position now with 4 and 5 minutes to go.
Tattoo. Milano hooks it right through the goal, and in the mouth of the goal, it's knocked away. Another try goes wide, and all the way back out to midfield for Hayden Knight.
Dallas won't get a better chance than that.
Things getting a little careless in the Baltimore end in front of that net. Milano back to Doc Lawson. Brunson chasing him, and Manning makes the grab. Hurls downfield. Sobieski scoops it up. Slides it out for Smith.
One of the few times we've seen a fast break opportunity for the Blast here tonight. We saw a very good one in the first half when Manning almost got a breakaway score. But since then, we really haven't seen Scott get the ball out quickly to his forwards. And that's more a result of the terrific job Dallas has done in getting back on defense tonight. They've done a very good job of cutting off Manning's passing lanes.
Doc Lawson is down in the corner now and is being attended to by trainer Steve Smith.
Yeah, I think Doc took one on the shins there. And these guys, about this time of the season, they've taken so many shots on their shins. You know, they get kicked all the time. It never really gets a chance to heal. And then when you get re-kicked on an area that's already bruised, it is very, very painful.
Incidentally, credit Paul Child with an assist on Furphy's second goal tonight. Furphy has been helped out by McKenzie, Child, and Stankovic on his hat-trick trail. Give Child the assist on that second goal.
A couple of young fans, and those folks are the future lifeblood of the Major Indoor Soccer League, the kids who play the game. The demographics of Major Indoor Soccer League are very young. This is a great game, and I think more and more people are getting turned on to it. It's an exciting game, a lot of scoring, a lot of action, and a lot of guys who don't look like other guys. I love him. He is a terrific. He's got quite a collection of hats, Drago does, and he loves to wear them. But he doesn't wear his headband when he wears his hats.
Moreland chasing it down. We've got a whistle. McLeod is arguing it. It's a holding call against Dallas. It'll be a free kick for the Blast, and that is the third foul now against the Dallas Sidekicks. The Blast have 4. 4:36 to play. Baltimore in a 5-4 lead over Dallas.
I don't think Dallas wants to pull its goalie until they want to see if they can pick up this 5th and then maybe 6th foul. If they get the penalty, I think he'll wait probably another couple of minutes before pulling Sobieski.
Drago back, but Moreland is there. Milano double teamed, and Reynolds is right with him. Moreland forced to take over. Willie Milano. Drago steals and starts back in forward gear.
A one-man fast break.
Here comes Mike Stankovic. Stankovic's shot is blocked by Moreland. Off the glass and cleared out. Savage has to get back quickly.
Tattoo's not out there right now, but he'll be coming out shortly for the stretch drive here as Dallas trails by a digit with 3.5 to go.
Mark Carpin is on the field now. He's in to try and mark Savage. The ball cleared out. Carpin takes it back, and now Chapman sends it across the field to the boards. Whitman makes a good play ahead. Racing in down the right side, and a shot by Runson is stopped by Sobieski.
Almost, and you're right, Mike. It was a terrific effort by Whitman to get the ball to Ronson.
Loose ball in front of the net, deflected. And a pretty good centering pass, actually, it turned out to be. But here comes Stankovic on a break. Couldn't get it past Sobieski. He made the right decision, coming out and stopping the ball just before Stankovic could make much of a play.
Yeah, and Mike's eyes got wider than the Champs-Élysées.
Here's a high shot. Carpin sent it off the glass.
Gale had a great opportunity on the rebound and fanned on the ball.
Mickey Kaitis drops it back, and Sobieski plays it to Smith. Kevin Smith with the ball. Drops it back for Kaitis. Down to 2:15 to play, and this time Dallas wants timeout.
Yeah, I think Gordon Jago has gone about as long as he wishes to go. So now we'll probably see the sixth man as Sobieski will come out. And Dallas will get an extra attacker out there.
Once again, we welcome the merry-go-round as the sponsor of
Could be Mark Carpin, who has filled that role 3 times already this season, or perhaps David Stride, who has done it 4 times.